Hello everyone in the Secrets to Sleep Baby and Toddler Sleep Help group. My name is Courtney. I am your host. I am a pediatric sleep consultant, and I'm here to help families get a great night of sleep so they can enjoy the time they have together. A couple of things I wanted to address today are all about the early morning wake up. So I have done another video on the early morning wake up. As sleep consultants, we've studied, just the different reasons why babies and toddlers tend to wake up early. But here's one main key thing that I want to note, okay? Because I can send this early morning wake up video to everyone, and it's going to be useless if there's some things that are present. Okay, so here's the two things. So when someone says, "Hey, I've got a baby or toddler that wakes up early in the morning," here's one thing I want to know before we address anything else. One thing is how many times does your baby or toddler wake up in the night? Okay, at about 6 months of age, babies can, and then of course toddlers as well, can start to sleep through the night, right? So when I have a family that's saying, hey, my baby or my toddler wakes up at 5 o'clock in the morning, what do I do to help it? It's really key to know, but is your baby waking up like a bunch of other times in the night too? Because there's two options. One is it's an independent thing that's happening. My baby or toddler sleeps really well, and then at 5 in the morning, they wake up and they want to start their day. That is a totally independent thing. I can send you the video I did on the early morning wake up, and that will address that, okay? So if that's you, and it's just there's no wake ups in the night, but there's the early morning wake up 5-ish, and you want to help solve it, post below early morning wake up video, and I will send you the 30-minute video I did on exactly that. But this is what I'm noticing lately is that people have babies and toddlers that are waking up multiple times in the night, and then they're also doing an early morning wake up at 5 o'clock and want to start their day at 5 o'clock. And people are trying to almost like isolate this one problem and how do I solve it? You cannot solve that problem until we address the full problem, okay? Because all of these wake ups to me, I'm like, that's just a wake up then, right? If your baby is waking up 2 or 3 times in the night and then wants to start their day at 5 in the morning, that's just because your baby wakes up in the night, right? And your baby or toddler wakes up in the night, and there's a reason for it, right? And it's because they don't know how to self-settle, right? They're not connecting sleep cycles. There's something that's got them up in the night. They can't go into the light point in their sleep, roll over, and fall back into deep sleep. There's something going on there, right? So we cannot solve that early morning wake up independently. We actually need to solve for all of the night wake ups, and this is why I wanted to address this, okay? So if that's you, you have a baby or toddler that wakes up for the day at 5 o'clock in the morning and it sucks, but your baby or toddler is also waking up multiple times in the night, then in order to address this, we need to use a self-settling strategy, okay? So this means our baby or toddler needs to learn how to fall asleep without whatever it is that your baby or toddler feels like they need. Okay, I've went through lists of these things, so I've gone over some of these things before, but let's say breastfeeding, rocking to sleep. If it's a 4 to 8 month old baby and a soother, that can be an option. For older babies, it's not usually a soother so much because they can replace that on their own. Sometimes it snuggles to sleep. Sometimes with toddlers, they just want their parent to be present while they fall asleep. These are the reasons, and these are the things that would need to be addressed to stop that specific early morning wake up, okay? Post below if that's you, okay? This is where I offer, if you want support, if you have a toddler that struggles with this early morning wake up, but also just night wake ups in general, I have this toddler bedtime program that right now is just selling out, okay? I only have 1 or 2 spots available for the rest of the month because it's so popular. And I wanted to share a review that someone wrote for you just so that you see, because this toddler mama, her little one started to sleep through the night after 3 days, okay? So, toddler families are often asking me things like, is this normal? Is there anything I can, is it going to be like this for forever? And what they don't realize is that it's actually a lot easier of a fix than they think. This toddler bedtime program is a week and a half because it's for, mild sleep challenges, kind of like the toddler wants the parent present versus, a more complex sleep challenge like they're breastfeeding to sleep, something like that. So that's just that info. But I'm going to review this review just so that you know. Gemma posted on one of my posts and she said, if you are thinking about doing this, it was about the toddler bedtime program, don't think about it anymore and just do it. It's not perfect. So like his sleep right now is not perfect, but he's gained so many skills from self-soothing, and he's went from consistent night, he's now got a consistent night routine. He went from daily waking during the night the week before we started, and since we started, he's had 3 nights where he's woken up. So he went from 7 out of 7 night wake-ups, so every night's been a wake-up, to, since he started the program, he's only had 3 days where he's actually woken up, and some days where he hasn't woken up. And so this family is just halfway through this, or maybe 1 week through this 1 week and a half toddler bedtime program. Says Courtney has been extremely encouraging. Okay, so it's just one of those things that I think toddler families, we think that there's no hope and that it's just going to be like this for forever, and it's never going to be sorted out, and it's this is the way it is. And to me, I'm like, it's actually probably a lot quicker to solve this than you think. It usually takes 3 days of it being pretty terrible in the beginning when we make some sleep training changes, before our toddlers start to pick up on things, because toddlers are actually pretty smart, and they start to figure out that what I was doing before isn't working anymore, and they will start to sleep through the night really well. So they're going to correct that early morning wake up. We don't have to go on and on like this for forever. So I just thought I would let you know that. So send me a DM, toddler bedtime program, if you're interested in like a shorter version of sleep training program specific to toddlers. If you have a baby that's waking up lots in the night, and doing an early morning wake up, send me the message 3 weeks to better sleep, because that's what I do with babies and toddlers that are waking up frequently for more complex sleep associations. So 3 weeks to better sleep. Okay. I hope that's helpful for everyone. And yeah, let me know what your thoughts are. Okay.